Hey, good morning, Internet fans. It's Ryan Perry with Simple Biz Support. It is Wednesday, therefore I have the beautiful and talented Sarah Giametti with ICT Marketing. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. Yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good to hear, good to hear. We actually had first place for a day.
I know, this is ridiculous. But hopefully today we'll take it back.
There you go. It's all about All-Star Game. As long as the Dodgers are in first place by the All-Star Game, be a happy camper.
Same here, then we should be able to hang on to it.
Yes, yes. Today, we're going to kind of pull off of last week. Your business partner in crime filled in for you last week while you were out gallivanting the world. Oh, no, you were in training all day. So, but we had a great discussion regarding Twitter and conversations, and one of the things he brought up was the H to H. We've all heard about B to C and B to B, but then there's the H to H, and I don't think a lot of people really talk about that when it comes to social media. We're always talking about, well, who is our audience? You know, is it B to C or is it B to B? And the whole H to H concept is kind of cool. And I'm going to touch base. I think I've touched base on it a few times, but I think it's really important to mention is that H to H, human to human, is very important because regardless if we're talking in person, if we're talking over the internet on video like we are now, if we're on a Twitter feed, if we're on Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter. We're still dealing with humans. And so the reality is all the human inflections, all the interactions, that what we need to feel important, what we need to feel like somebody actually cares about us, like somebody's listening, is the same online as it is offline.
Totally true. So one of the things a lot of businesses miss in social media is it's an extension of your relationships with the people in the real world. So you wouldn't walk up to a person and be like, hey, how are you? Come buy my stuff, 20% off. That's not how you talk to people when you're interacting with them in person, and so it's not how you should interact with them on social media. So this human-to-human concept that Brian Kramer came up with is brilliant. It reminds people that just because we do need to know who our audience is on social media, you still need to talk to them like they are humans, like they are people, like you would if you're standing in front of them, have a conversation with them, engage with them. So it's really a great concept to remind all of us that, yes, you do need to know if you're B2B or B2C, but then beyond that, treat them like they're people, like you would if you were standing in front of them in real life.
Right. So, but I think as a business owner, most business owners are really concerned about, well, if I'm going to invest money in social media, and maybe it's not even money, but if they're going to invest time, because time is money, into social media, regardless if it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google Plus, Snapchat, pick one of 1,000 different forums, is that, well, you know, hey, I need a return on investment. You know, I need to show that for every hour that I put in, if my hourly rate is $100, or if I'm paying somebody the equivalent of $100, I need to get $200, $300 in return. And if you're telling me that we have to build relationships, typically those relationships don't build overnight.
No, they don't. You have to. Relationships take time. I mean, you and I have known each other for years, and it's taken a long time for us to build. Not only now we've got a personal relationship, we're friends outside of business, but we've got a great business relationship. But it takes time. So if you look at the relationships you're building in real life, you don't meet somebody and on the day two, as long as you're sober, you don't go get married, and you're not in Vegas. But so you have to look at it on the business side the exact same way, that if the relationships do take time. So social media, you're not going to immediately get your money back. Will you eventually? Yes, absolutely. By building the relationships, by showing them that you care about them, you know what you're talking about, you're an expert in your field, and over time you will build that relationship that they will come buy from you. So, but you have to take that time. So somebody telling me that, okay, you've got 3 months to show me an ROI, and you're starting from zero, it's highly unlikely you're going to get an ROI in 3 months.
Right, and it's very difficult. And one of the conversations that I have with business people, may it be SEO, may it be social media, revamping your website, is how long do you plan on staying in business? Is this a long-term thing? Do you plan on retiring in 2 years? Because the return on investment is always very important for any business owner, regardless of what your financial status is. And so if the answer is, well, I don't plan on retiring for 10, 15 years, then we have to, I think as a business owner, you really need to stop and look at things from the long-term perspective and understand that if you plan on being in business long-term, then you have to make those investments. Just like when you started your business out initially, if you're one of those that had to start from scratch like myself, I didn't buy an existing company, but I had zero clientele and zero prospects when I first started my business. The reality is I wasn't successful overnight, and to some degree I'm still I'm still chasing that success. However, it's getting easier and easier as time goes by, and the same thing is relevant to social media. That you have to build trust with people up front, and it's really hard to build trust with people if all of your content is about, hey, we've got this great new product, this is why you should buy from us, oh, by the way, I'm the best and we make all of our customers happy, and you just use the same blah 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 crap that every other brochure and website and business owner is telling people. It's really about connecting with people. We were just talking offline, is we have the Sonoma County Fair is going on, or the Sonoma Marin Fair just finished up, but we have the Sonoma County Fair, which is a big fair in Santa Rosa, is coming up. As a business owner, that is a great topical, it's current and it's prevalent in people's frame of mind, and they're going to be searching on it. So creating content, creating feed, hey, did you know about this event? Or, geez, what do you think about this event? Is not only a great way to create conversation, but it's also a great way to learn more about your audience and your clientele.
Totally true. Social media is definitely a long-term strategy. So if a business owner needs to turn a quick profit, it's not the place to start. But yeah, just like you, I started my business from scratch. I had zero clients. I had to build it up in chasing the success and the goals that I have for my company. But I'm on social media on a regular basis, not only because it's what I do for a living and I have to show I know what I'm talking about, but I plan on being in business for a very long time. And so the relationships that I started building 2 years ago I'm still nurturing them into a good relationship, showing them that I know what I'm talking about, so that eventually it does turn into sales. And so the longer you're on it, the more effort you put into it, the more people will come down the road. But everybody should start on social media viewing it as an extension of a branding tool and a customer relationship tool. That's how you should start using social media. You're getting better exposure for your company, and so it's a branding tool right there, because you're getting your name out there in front of more people. And the customer relationship tool, you're interacting with the people that are following you, and so you're building those relationships. You can keep your existing and current customers happy. And so you need to approach it by that, but also the human rule. People want to know who you are, especially in our community. We're very much we want to know who we're working with. We want to know the companies we're doing business with, the people behind the business. And so don't be afraid to put a piece of that personal element in there. I often post on our page, I post it as first person, I, in parentheses, Sarah, because I do have a business partner. And I post stuff that I'm doing so people would know that we're not just the appearance of a larger company, that there really is me in this community doing stuff like last night, talking to a bunch of entrepreneurs. So you've got to have that human content and have that personal content in there so that people feel like they know you, because if they know you, then they learn to trust you. They know you, like you, trust you. They're going to buy from you eventually.
Right. Yeah, and I like the fact that you put your name in some of the posts. And that's a great way, especially if you're branding your business as a corporation where all the information, the identity is all business related. For you it'd be ICT marketing, you have your logo, there's no pictures of you or your business partner. So creating that human touch, I think a lot of times is really nice. And the way to do that is show some pictures, obviously what you're comfortable with, but also, like you said, write some posts every now and then that aren't just generic. Hey, what's going on at the fair today, or have you thought about going to the fair today? But going, hey, I'm going to the fair today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the ugly dog contest, and then sign off with your name at the end. I don't do that enough. I know I should, and it's a very good reminder because I used to do that pretty often, and I need to step that up on my game also. Again, just to add that human to human touch.
Right. People, they want to know who they're doing business with. And so, and I don't do it as often as I should either, but you do want to make a conscious effort of, there's nothing, I just met with a new client where they would occasionally post a picture of their dogs who are in their office. I was just in their office. They've got two little cute dogs, and they posted a picture about the dogs being at work with them today. Perfect, because the followers that you have, they're going to see that you are family people, you have dogs, you bring them to work, that you're not just this big, especially, if you're branding to the corporation like I do, that I'm not just this company name, that I really am me, and I'm in your community, and I'm active in the community, and because they want to relate to you. And so the more you put on there, obviously, be wise about what you're putting on there, be careful and think it through, but they want to relate to you somehow. And so if you are putting something on there that you're going to the fair and you're looking forward to seeing the ugly dog contest or whatever you're going for, that might compel them to interact with you, like, oh, I love that contest, I'm going to be there too. So or here we've got the wine country. Sometimes I'll put on there that I'm going wine tasting to take a break, or so they want to have that. They want to know that you're a person, not a corporation, and that's the key to social media, is building those relationships, those long-term relationships, because you aren't going to be in business for just a minute or two. Hopefully you plan on being in business for 5, 10 plus years, that depending on what your end game is, but you want to build those relationships so that they're high quality and these people are part of your community.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the disconnect that a lot of business owners make, especially when they see, oh, we got a social media package for $19.95 a month, and they're posting 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, and they're like all excited because they can get it cheap and inexpensive, and now they're doing social media, not realizing that they're probably harming their image by posting poorly written content or content that really doesn't drive the human-to-human factor, but you can tell it's generic, canned, mechanized, if you will, and in a social environment, that mechanized approach can really be harmful, I think. And the other thing is look at social media as a marketing asset. Any type of paid advertising that you do, may it be through television, radio, print ads, postcards, mailings, those type of things. As soon as you stop paying for that advertising, it disappears. Poof, it's gone. Social media, proper SEO, where we're actually creating content through blogs, creating video content. To me, those are marketing assets. And when you go to the end term, which is when do you plan on retire, when do you plan on selling your business, is if you can show the next business owner, the person that's interested in buying your business, that look, I have a portfolio of marketing assets here that I've built online. I have a reputation that I've built. There's a tremendous amount of value in that when you look long term, 20 years, 30 years down the road.
Totally agree that everything online is an asset if you do it right, because like you said, once the money's gone on pay-per-click, it's gone, and so are you. So you want to make sure that you're building these properly, and you don't want to do some canned content. You want to think it through, and there's nothing wrong with scheduling it in advance. We do it. I don't want to spend every single day coming up with content. I don't have time for that, and no busy business owner does. But I still spend the time to come up with relevant quality content. I just schedule it out in advance, and then I'm available. I'm on it often enough that if people interact with it, I can interact instantly, but I don't have to worry about finding content on a regular basis.
Right. All right, wonderful. We'll tell you what, we are out of time, but we do want to go through the action step for today, which is,
Have a game plan for your posts. So research and schedule them in advance. Make sure that you put some thought behind it. Research them. Find a calendar. We've got a couple spreadsheets that we use to make it easy to remember what content you're going to do, and then plug them into the different platforms and schedule them out.
all right, and if you do plan on using a marketing calendar, as business owners, also think about the seasonal things, especially if it's relevant to your business, and try and come up with seasonal topics. So if you're retail and it's Christmas time, you got to start thinking, okay, October, November, that's when we need to start kind of talking about Christmas and those type of things. So seasonal events are very topical and show that human-to-human factor versus just a generic post all the time.
Absolutely. You want to make sure you think everything through before you do it.
All right, wonderful. Well, I'm thinking next week, let's talk a little bit more about finding content, what to talk about, and how to post that content, or create a game plan. Let's actually go through the nuts and bolts of what that game planning session is for business owners, so they can take a half hour, an hour out of their day, maybe once a month, to actually game plan their social media.
Perfect. Sounds like a great plan.
All right, Sarah, I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thank you. You too, Ryan.
All right, take care.
Bye.